What's up, guys? What's up? What's up, my brothers? Welcome to Devil's Advocate, the live stream. If you can see, I put a chat box. I'm trying out, new things, right? As I'm doing more streams, right? I'm trying to see what works, what could be better, what would make it enjoyable, right? You guys seeing your messages or something. I'm trying to figure out how what to make it better. That's just it. So if it's if you see it's cool, right? If you think it's cool, tell me. If you don't, whatever, no biggie. Um, just trying out something. Uh, but hey, how you guys doing? How are you guys doing? Hope you guys are. Hope you guys have a good week already. You know. So, yeah, let's. I think I have an interesting stream today. Maybe it might be a little bit different, right? So, you tell me. It might be a little bit different. Yeah, a lot of new things. I'm trying to add new things to the stream or to my setup, to things, right? Just to maybe make it a bit better, but we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, like always, right? I want to start out with a Kendra G reaction video. So let's check that one out. Let's get started with that. Would you see that the chat window, right? The chat window? Would you want me to add it? This sucks. Like, I don't know. Over here, I don't know. It might be distracting, so I figured I'm not sure if you guys would want me to do that. But if you guys like the chat, looking at the chat on screen, I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, let's get started. So, hello. Okay, just making sure. All right, so let's react to this Kendra G video.
Hey,
Hey, what's your name, babe?
I'm Harley,
Harley. Harley, how old are you?
31.
31. What do you do for a living?
I work in mental health.
Mental health?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any kids?
No, absolutely not.
No kids. Where you calling me from? Like, where do you live?
I stay in LA, but I'm from New
LA.
Orleans.
Okay.
Mhm.
You ever been married?
No, ma'am.
No. And what do you? Okay, so Harley, what's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Pisces.
Pisces. So we got Harley, LA, 31 Pisces. She works in mental health. No kids. What kind of man you looking for, boo?
Okay, so I am looking for someone who is considerate, someone thoughtful, someone who can communicate their needs, someone who's not avoidant of depth, not averse to depth, not overwhelmed by substance, somebody who is not avoidant of conflict. I notice a lot of people get a little skittish when it comes to confronting conflict. Someone who is honest, trustworthy, kind, sweet, reliable, a person of their word for sure, and someone with a high emotional intelligence.
Okay, what are your deal breakers?
Somebody with kids, um, someone who doesn't believe in science, so like an anti vaxxer, somebody who's right wing, conservative, moderate, anybody who's not liberal or left wing is a deal breaker. Someone who smokes cigarettes.
God, a lot of things that most intelligent stuff like that. It's not the worst, right? But then she start getting very political. If you're not left wing, not those women would just bring chaos. this is the thing where she talked about like confrontation, arguing. Here's the thing, men do not really like arguing. Now, they like to talk, right? To actually have an intelligent conversation. But here's a caveat. I don't think leftist women uh, have intelligent conversations. I think it's mostly very argumentative. I think it's a headache.
That's probably it, I guess.
So if a man is not vaccinated, you don't want to date him.
Mostly no. I'm open to like hearing people's reasoning. If it's something that has to do with like, let's say maybe religion, or specifically if they're immunocompromised. So if they were to be vaccinated, they have a higher propensity for death or becoming sick, then I view that differently.
After, what is it? It's been a year, 2 years already? Why do you care? It's like, why is that even a talking point? It's like, you should be, I don't care. COVID is not that big of a deal. It's not. Now it's like, seriously? That is a reasoning if he's not vaccinated. Why do you care? This is the thing, right? This will be the topic of this stream. Women are the root of their own problems. They're self-sabotaging. If he's not vaccinated, really vaccinated, that will disqualify him. Like, no wonder you're 30 and now trying to look for a man, right? You're trying to look. This is right. This is going to be indicative. I'm not saying 30 is old, right? I'm not, but I'm saying this is the start, right? Women get serious with dating and stuff once they hit 30. Well, with this mindset, you will be hitting close to 40 and still on the dating market. She's so that shows me, right? We are only 2 minutes in. Shows me how rigid her mindset is. She's not open-minded, right? Talk about the reasoning. You don't need to know it's not that important if you're vaccinated or not. That should not be a deal breaker when dating somebody.
But somebody who just like does not believe in science is a no for me. Somebody who wasn't vaccinated since a child, so then they would be likely to become sick if they were vaccinated now.
It is funny that leftists talk about science. I mean, they're part of the whole like the community with the alphabet people. And you talk about gender, saying there's only two and shit like that, and then you say believe in science. I don't know about that.
That's different than someone who's vaccinated as a kid and now opts to not be vaccinated.
Okay, fair enough. Your position is your position, not trying to sway you in any way. But did you see the news article that came out last week that said that the increase of deaths, some have been linked to being vaccinated?
I haven't seen the news article, but I think also there's a lot of propaganda in general that tends to come out where if it's a point of controversy or contention or something new, that people tend to link it to that. And I think people die from a lot of other reasons too. And again,
then why do you matter? Why does it matter to be vaccinated? This, like the hypocrisy of it, the propaganda, which is pretty much news. Propaganda is pretty much news, right? So now that you get information that, I mean, I'm not saying it's real or not, right? I'm not. But you get information that vaccination could have led to death. Okay, well, back when COVID was hitting, vaccination could lead to immunity, in a sense. That is people pushing information, propaganda. That's basically what it is. So the absolute insanity right there.
And I feel like Because it's a newer thing, people are more inclined to link it to such as opposed to a myriad of other factors that could play a role.
Okay, fair enough. Your position is your position. Should the guy look a certain way?
Black, all shades of black. I would say honestly, no lighter than Stephen Curry.
No lighter than Stephen Curry.
Yeah, it was pretty light. But all shades of black.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say, and when I say black, you know what, I want to be specific. So like an American black man.
An American
Or an Americanized black man. So it could be a black man who, let's say his family is from Jamaica, but he's been in America, you know, is born in America. So he has like duality in terms of alignment with his culture in Jamaica, but also American culture. That, or someone who's just born in America and their parents from America and, you know.
Okay. We have a paid question for you.
Okay.
Just Shay Talkin said, even though we are out of the pandemic era, you still hold not being vaxxed against him, even if he's healthy, even if he's everything you are looking for?
That's a good question. And me being forthcoming, I'll say I've stopped asking, even though we are still technically in a pandemic, but it's just not talked about as often, I think, because it's been normalized and the expectation.
No, we're not in a pandemic. What makes you see what makes you think this we're still in a pandemic?
And we've kind of adapted to what the world is now. But also because I work in the healthcare field, that's also why I'm pretty adamant. But I'll say, and me being forthcoming, I've stopped asking people about it. If he wasn't vaccinated and if he is healthy and it's not due to not believing in science, then that's different. But if he's not vaccinated because he's just anti-vaccine, period, and not just COVID, but anti all vaccines, then that's a deal breaker still, because then he wouldn't be everything I'm looking for.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, Alvy, why would you think that? Why do you think that we're still in a pandemic? Because the things that Alvy, right, guys, amazing supporter, saying that we're still in a pandemic. I mean, I see no signs that we are right now in a pandemic. So what would you say that we're still in a pandemic? Because like, if you're saying people are still getting COVID, okay, but would that really mean that we're in a pandemic? I mean, that just viruses evolve. It evolves over time. I mean, when people get in flus, we don't call that a pandemic. The situation, right? And a large amount of people got COVID very quickly, right? And we couldn't handle it, at least during that period. And, you know, all that stuff happened, close downs, all these things. That would be a pandemic. Now that everyone's living their life and going out, there's no restrictions or anything, I wouldn't call it a pandemic, right? I wouldn't.
All right, let's keep going. What was the last question I asked you? Okay, look, should he make a certain amount of money?
Largely, no. I would just want him to have all of his own things. So like his own space, like living space. And even if that means he has roommates, but his own space, he can't be staying with his people. His own car, which I feel kind of is like a obvious, but you know, if you live in somewhere like New York, then you don't really need a car, and that's different. Because before I moved to LA, I was actually staying in Oakland for like 3 years, and then I lived in New York for about 6 years. So I like to move around a lot. But somebody with his own stuff, somebody who's independent. But if I had to put a number, I'd say 70K and up.
Okay, 70K and up. What is the age range you would date? You're 31.
Which is an above average man, right? I really don't like women don't realizing it. Again, the average medium, and I'm gonna widen it, right? Average medium, right? Average medium salary for men on large, right? Majority of men is 40 through 60. Although she's 70 is a little bit more, but still that's above average man. I would still like to say that's above average man. And why I say that is that, remember, all the things she also asks of this man. Just be black, which is fine. Black, fine. Emotionally intelligent. All this range of things she asked for right in the beginning, right? All these personality traits that this man should have. Black, make 70K, and a little bit above average. So I'm just saying that like women put so much stipulations, it makes it harder and harder to find that man. That's just it.
I would say 29 to 38,
Okay, should he be in LA?
preferably. If not, state of California is cool.
Okay. Harley, let's do the Kendra Cam.
Okay.
Okay, looks like you're in good shape.
Oh, hold on. So you can see my legs. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you have a cute shape. Okay. We see you, Harley Boo. Do you want kids one day?
No, ma'am.
You don't want kids?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So
Not
can the
yet.
guy have kids already?
No.
So
I would be looking for someone who doesn't have kids and doesn't want kids.
okay.
Like somebody who's more of either they could live without having kids, but not somebody who's like, absolutely, I want kids. So either you don't want them or you're okay with never having them.
Okay. And
Another thing that makes the pool of men for her even smaller. Like, here's the thing. I don't know what she's gonna say yet. I hope that she doesn't ask for marriage, because again, personal opinion, I don't think already marriage is not a good thing for men. Not really. Especially now, Western style marriages is not a good thing for men. So now, no kids, right? Getting no kids out of it. There's really no reason for a man to get married. You can get everything you want in just boyfriend girlfriend status. So really, you don't need to go to the next level of commitment if you're not gonna have kids.
you don't want them to have kids already?
No, unless they're adults, but then his age would likely be higher than my range if that were the case.
Okay. Okay. When was your last relationship?
3 years ago.
3 years ago. You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
I'll pass.
Okay.
Well, that just shows you it was recent, right? It was recent. I said this before. A butterface? You think she's a butterface? She's average. Another one that's average at best, right? This woman, okay body, right? A decent body. Face, a 5. At best is a 5. Not really cute, in my opinion. Average, right? So, but what was I gonna say? This is the thing. Damn it, I just forgot what I said. Alvy, thanks, man. You just made me lose my track saying butterface.
Flaws you have to work on?
Anxiety. I think my anxiety kind of manifests in different ways. And so sometimes that can look like thought rumination about things that have happened already or worries about things in the future. Also kind of a control freak in a sense. Not control as in like controlling of another person, but control like I'm hyper independent. I'm used to things in my space being the way that it is. Any man who's looking for, and this is a deal breaker part, but any man who's looking for a woman who is quote unquote submissive or will utilize the term submissive or feminine or even the trio of feminine fit, that no.
This is a woman that 100% only qualifies for 50-50. I swear, with how modern she is, she better, when the check comes out, agree to split it. No, actually insist on splitting that check. Because here's a woman, right? No submission, none of that traditional shit, right? None of that traditional shit. So open her own doors and must insist on going Dutch, right? Must insist on splitting that check. Because women like this will most likely be the ones to like, oh, he didn't pay for the whole dinner, right? He didn't pay for the whole date. I'm not gonna see him again. This is that type of woman.
That's a no. And it has to be a really progressive man. But flaw.
And that's progressive ideas right there. Splitting that damn check.
Also, anxiety. I would say I can be perceived as really serious if you don't know me. Though I like to laugh a lot, but it has to be the type of humor that I'm into. The third one, I would say I can be a little rigid sometimes with certain things. Like,
boom! Did I not just say that? Did I not just say that? I just said this woman is rigid. This woman, right? I'm going to even go down deeper. This woman will bring you chaos. This woman is chaotic. I'm sorry. These modern day women, the leftists, these woke women, right? All these women are chaotic. They don't live in logic, but they think they're logical, which is very dangerous, which is very chaotic, very problematic. When you think you're smart, you think you're logical, but truthfully, your logic is based on your feelings. Purely based on your feelings. This is a woman that will bring a man chaos, not peace. Also, this woman will also be hypocritical. A hypocrite. Okay? Like I said, this is the type of woman that when you say, oh, let's split the check, she'll be, okay, fine, but she won't see you again. Right? Because you're trying to be progressive, right? Women power, right? Oh, you will have to work too. Let's contribute. Let's 50-50 everything. But she will also be, not happy about that shit too. So,
like, I'm very used to my routine. And so getting me out of that routine or getting me to try something.
One of the things that, personally, let's say one of the traits that I love in a woman is being open-minded. A woman that's rigid is a difficult woman. She's a difficult woman to be with because she is set in her ways. So whatever mindset she has, whatever life she's been living, whatever views she has, you ain't gonna change it. Most likely, if you are not on her, like, if it's her way or the highway. So if you don't follow her lead, that's a deal breaker.
Something new food-wise. I'll try like anything adventurous-wise, but food-wise.
So you don't want to try food that you're not familiar with?
Not necessarily that I'm not familiar with, but food if it's not aesthetically pleasing. Because there are some foods that I hear taste good, but I won't try it if I don't like how it looks. So it has to be a food that looks appealing to me, or like an extension of a food that I already know that I like.
And a man that desires a woman that is fit and feminine, if he says that, he's a turn off to you.
He can say fit, but I think the combination of fit, feminine, but it's specific more so to submissive, fit, feminine. Just because, in my understanding, that's very much Kevin Samuels' rhetoric, and usually that comes from a guy who's more on the misogynistic end of things.
Misogynistic? Women seem to not understand words. They don't know the definition. Misogynistic, misogyny, right? It's pretty basic, right? I'm not going full on definition, but it's pretty much the hate of women. Wanting a woman that's feminine, right, and submissive is not hating women.
And I'm not looking to be led by anybody. I'm not looking to be guided. I'm not looking to submit to anybody. I want to be a partner.
So any man, so let's take the word separately. If a man says he wants a submissive woman, you don't want to be with that man?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So if he wants to be with a fit woman, that wouldn't turn you off?
Right.
If he wants to be with a feminine woman, that wouldn't turn you off? Or what does that turn?
It depends on how he would define feminine, only because specifically, I don't identify as being, I'm more aligned with my masculine energy than my feminine energy.
Oh, right there. No wonder, right? here's the thing. She just said that she wouldn't answer when did she recently had sex. This woman is only for a fun time, not a long time. And this woman will learn the price of her personality, of her attitude, of her rigidity. Here's a woman, a perfect example of a woman that is only good for a fun time, not a long time. She said she's in her masculinity. What man, besides, I'm sorry, a weak man, is attracted to this? And here's the thing, why I can say that is because I've been there, I've done that. I've been there and I've done that. Where here, and this is, like I said, I've made this channel for, I'm an average man talking to other average men. Let me say that, right? I'm not talking to the high value men, the men that are like, the Chads, the Tyrones. I'm not talking about top percent men. I'm talking to average men because I'm an average man. I've been there, right? I was raised by a single mom. I had two sisters, younger sisters, but, not that far in age, right? They were strong, independent, right? Like my mom and shit like that, work hard, all that shit. I thought I should be attracted to a strong, independent woman. Later on, growing up, dating these strong, independent women, I've learned that is chaos. These women don't really want you nor need you. They will if they feel like it, you're out. You will be gone. These are women that will make your life difficult. And as average men, we will do everything we can to please these women, right? Because we love them, right? We think the world of them. But we try everything we can to please these women, to make them happy. But at the end of the day, these strong, independent women, their mindset is poisoned, right? They are men. They are basically men, right? And us as average men, we are to be with these masculine women. We have to take a back seat, and I've been there. I had to take a back seat. I had to shut my mouth a lot of times. I had to really be in my femininity, and that was torture. I'm telling you this. I learned from my lessons. That was torture, right? Like being feminine in a masculine it's like destroy my masculinity, right? To be with these women. And at the end of the day, I was unhappy. And then I still got broken up with, right? I still got left. I still got used and abused. So really, again, like I'm saying, these women will just be torture. These women, again, will be hard to deal with. And they won't be satisfied with you. Because this is the thing. While they may not want a masculine man, they cannot deal with a, I guess, feminine man, or a man that's not as masculine. A man that wouldn't fight them, right? Would hold their tongue. It's just that's the thing. So you can't have two masculine energy, right? Because it's always going to be combative, right? You're always going to be fighting with each other. So usually, and it's usually the man, you be with these masculine women, well, you will have to take a back seat, right? If you love these women, a lot of times, and I'm speaking from experience, I had to take a back seat. So I had to sit in my feminine energy or whatever crap like that, right? So take a back seat, not argue, not because I don't want these arguments. I don't want to fight with a woman. So again, it is torture.
And that's just me being very forthcoming about it. And so when I hear feminine, I interpret that as like almost excessive softness. While I have, of course, feminine qualities, and I can be nurturing and supportive and loving.
How can you be nurturing? I honestly don't. How can these women say they're nurturing when, one, they don't want kids, two, they're they say they're masculine, right? What makes you think you're nurturing?
I don't subscribe to necessarily femininity. Though, of course, again, I have a mix of both, but I'm more aligned in my masculine energy than the feminine.
Okay, so with that being said, one would say that you need a beta male, a man that wouldn't mind you in the leading position. So do you think that's the type of man that would work best for you?
I don't think I necessarily subscribe to that, because a beta male, or by I guess definition, a beta male would mean that I didn't have to lead, even though I'm comfortable with leading, but I'm seeking more of a
So
partner.
but you just said you don't want to be led. So
I don't want to be led. No.
so if
So
you don't want to be led and you don't want him to be the leader, then who leads the relationship?
is it not possible to just be partners? Because the way that I'm viewing it is the idea that you don't have to lead, I don't have to lead, or even taking turns in leading. But I guess I don't view it as leading. I view it as like we're both equals in it. And so I could decide I want to do this and you go along with that, and you decide, okay, well, I kind of want to do that, and then I could go along with that.
So
But
you guys, let's talk about the money. So you split the bills equally too?
I'm okay with that.
Okay, is that the kind of situation you desire? So you'll be 50-50 on everything. Your 50-50 partnership relationship, 50-50 bills as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know you got some paid questions.
Oh,
Okay. Lisa. Okay, LII said respectfully.
And you know what? That I think that's true. That I've learned that there should be a leader, like the de facto, because this is the thing. In a democracy, two people voting leads to uselessness. One can vote no, and the other one votes yes. There's no direction. Right? There's only chaos. Chaos. That means you don't know what's best for the relationship. So let's say hypothetically I'm dating her. I say let's go right. She says let's go left. Okay, we're driving. Which way are we going? Because I still want to go. I still want to go one way. She wants to go other way. That's chaos right there. And essentially, that will lead to arguments. Right? What she said in the beginning, she wanted like these. What is it? I forgot what she said. Like not debates, but she's like these. Just these arguments. I might just say arguments, right? Have these arguments, and it's just gonna be chaos. Because at the end of the day, this is why a lot of women don't understand the failures of their relationships, right? Of their past relationships. Because of this, right? This partnership, when you have no clear direction, two opposing personality. Because essentially, again, I've been there, right? Like I said, I've been there with these types of women, where, yeah, I wanted to go left, she wanted to go right. We argue. I mean, not even debating, because shit, when you have two opposing views, people are gonna argue, and then what happens, right? What happens? One person will have to give. That's the thing, right? One person will have to give. And here's the problem with like these women, right? Even though that you want to debate, these women won't be logical. She said it herself, rigid. She is narrow-minded. Perfect example, like the whole vaccine crap. Like if she cared about that, she's gonna care about every little effing thing. So really, if I said I wanted to go left, she said she wanted to go right. We're arguing. I give her good, solid reasons why we should go left. But no, she said, I still want to go right. What are we gonna do? What do we do, right? Because these women are rigid, narrow-minded. It's their way or the highway. That is the danger of these types of women. So, like I said, I've been there. I've done that. So what did I do? I had to take a step back. Because these women, you want to get with a strong, independent woman, right? Us average men think that those are the amazing type of women. So we take a step back. We pretty much toss our masculinity into our purse. That's what I did, right? I tossed my masculinity into my purse. So I said, okay, babe, fine. We'll go right. I don't want to argue, right? I don't want to argue anymore. We'll go right.
Are you a robot?
Wouldn't be possible with the work that I do. I work with people on a day-to-day basis.
Ooh. Chance that she said, oh Lord, we got a feminist on our hands.
That part. Next.
I'm gonna read them first. Okay, this one. Jihande said, health is wealth, but you're average in LA and you don't want kids. How is a man supposed to look past all the baddies in LA and select you?
I'm not responsible for your perception of me. You can perceive me to be average, and that's cool, but I don't want you anyway. So we'll be on. Thanks.
Ooh. Next. This one said, fellas, take notes. Just because a girl looks good and speaks well don't mean a thing. This girl is crazy as the day is long.
You're entitled to your perception. Like, and that person wasn't even specific on what they would identify as crazy, but there are a lot.
I think to be honest, I think pretty much the whole package. I mean, this woman is just chaos in a human body.
A lot of cousins and people that watch that I don't align with in any way, shape, or form. So, again,
not the ones for you, anyways. Pharaoh Kingdom said, all these demands, but won't give the man a legacy. Good luck.
The man I want would foresee legacy as not just in a human form, but he could create his own legacy through business or otherwise.
She got.
Do you know that's a rare man? This is an average woman. Average at best. Purely. And I'm being kind. Okay? Let's take out her body. She's average at best in the face. So, what type of man you think? See, this is the thing. Women will always think that they will get above average men. Not every man is going to be Elon Musk. Because, again, legacy, yes. For generations, people will know Tesla. For generations. What average man is going to build the next Tesla? What average man is going to build the next Apple? Legacy. What business are you going to create as a legacy? And this is the thing. Legacy means you're passing shit down. Who are you passing it down to? Because since you have no children, right? So no actual human legacy. Who are you passing your business down to? Hypothetically, right? She says, oh, a man will see legacy other than children. Okay. So her amazing above average man is going to create the next Tesla. Great. He dies. Who does he give Tesla to? Some other man. So that man will have kids. He'll pass down Tesla to his kids. So now it's his legacy. I mean, you pretty much, any man that gets with you, his family line ends there. Great. But again, right? Here's the thing. We don't have to have kids. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that here's a woman, don't qualify for marriage. Here's a woman that will only qualify for rare men. Like I said, men that fits all her standards, don't want to have kids, wants to live in chaos. It's a black man. So, I don't know.
Come back for everything y'all saying. Chance the Chief said, people change after marriage. If your husband's views or beliefs change after time, would you divorce him?
Well, I guess it depends on the view or belief change. Like, is this a core change, like part of identity? Or is this like, because I subscribe to people evolving over time too, just like he'll change over time, so will I. And so I would anticipate, well, one, I don't view like a marriage or relationship or otherwise ending as fault of either party. I view it as simple incompatibility. So like I could be compatible with this person right now with who I am now and who they are right now. And then later in time, maybe we aren't compatible anymore. But I don't take it as a failure on my part or their.
The way she just said that, like I said, this is a woman that is only for a good time, not a long time. I don't subscribe to that idea. I don't subscribe to that idea. I hate that. I actually detest that. This is the thing. This is the mindset of a lot of women, and let me say this: idiotic men. Here's my opinion, right? My pure opinion. I do not believe if you let's say tomorrow I fall in love with a woman, right? But I know this woman inside and out, right? Hobbies, likes, dislikes, what type of friends she has, what's her future, what she plans for her future, what everything she likes, right? And I love everything she likes, or everything about her. Everything about her I love. I People do change over time, but I honestly believe it is rare for people to go to do a 180, completely different. If they like one day love they love peanut butter and then next day they hate it, whatever. But if one day they I don't know, was normal and then next day they become a Nazi, that's an extreme. People, on honest opinion, most people, majority of people rarely go 180. So in my opinion, women use this as an excuse. I grew out of love with him. What? Because they really haven't changed much. That's what I hate. That's what I do not agree with. Because if one aspect of me changed, doesn't mean that I've changed, right? Doesn't mean that I'm a totally different person. And that's what I hate about this whole idea that she just put up. I really honestly hate that. And people use that as an excuse to divorces, leave relationships, all that shit. It is a cop out.
Their part. So, but to your question, I guess it depends on the beliefs or views that change.
Okay. Okay, we did that one. This one also says she need to date a politician respectfully. Okay. Coach King Rod said, it's funny how liberals believe they are the gatekeepers of science. Science does not have a political disposition. The truth has no agenda.
I don't know that I brought up politics at all. I think all I said was liberal.
I mean, the whole vaccine thing has become political. So you essentially did, right? I mean, is it borderline on science anymore? The whole vaccine thing, I don't think so.
And if you want me to specify, I can. So when I say liberal, I don't mean under necessarily Democratic Party or otherwise. I mean a person who's progressive in belief. So that means, and these are deal breakers. Somebody who's not homophobic, transphobic, xenophobic, any of that. So someone left wing.
Well, this one agrees with you on something you said, so I definitely want to bring them on. Infoco said, it is possible to be partners and both can lead. That does not make a man a beta. Okay. So this person agrees with you and says that is possible. All right. Did I asked you your last relationship?
Yeah.
And
You asked me flaws, and then I don't know if we went after.
Okay, I think I went to the questions. Why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
So I am somebody who's dynamic. I'm well-rounded. I'm intelligent. I'm kind. I'm compassionate. I'm supportive. I'm loving. I'm audacious in all of the best ways. I'm certain of myself. I'm confident. I'm honest. I'm very direct. I'm not misleading in any way, shape, or form. I'm very straightforward. I'm reciprocal. So I believe in giving back what I receive twofold in that regard. I'm effective in my communication. I confront issues, and I am someone who believes in the issue and relationships being the issue and not my partner being the issue. So I'm all about being a team to combat that issue.
This is the thing. Like, a lot of people don't realize. I've dated this kind of woman. I've dated this kind of woman. Right? All the things she thinks she's saying she is, it's not reflective. It's not reflective because men, and maybe not even her, right? I'm just saying that it's very similar. You date these type of women, what will be a driving factor is the rigidity, the narrow-mindedness. This is the thing. When you communicate, if someone is rigid and narrow-minded, it will be hard. Someone that will, like a lot of these women, like I said, one big key takeaway, the masculinity she talks about, uh, excuse me, she's definitely my way or the highway kind of woman. So she's describing a man. She's very like she's very manly, but honest. At least she said that she's masculine.
Well spoken slash articulate. I have a vast vernacular. I am loyal and I'm a good person.
Vast vernacular. This is the thing, right? Women that she says she believes in science, all this shit, all that crap just says that she thinks she's smart, and she will be chaotic. She will argue the shit out of you, but it will just be illogical.
I think at the end of the day, and I'm someone who I've recognized as an anomaly in the sense that I'm still somebody out here who's open to depth with people. Like, I don't enjoy surface level conversations. I enjoy really getting to know somebody for who they are as a person and going forward with that. I'm also not a person who ghosts people. I don't believe in ghosting unless it's a circumstance where, let's say, it's emotionally unsafe to be direct about it or physically unsafe to do that. But aside from that, I'm a relatively compassionate and understanding individual. So people can disagree with whatever my politics or my beliefs or otherwise, and that's cool, and they're just not the people for me. I don't take that as a personal thing against me. I'm well adjusted in who I am, and I'm super self-reliant.
Okay. Self-reliant as in you can rely on yourself.
100%.
Yeah. So I think your challenge is going to be just finding one person that has all of your non-negotiables, right? It's one thing to have because basically some of your non-negotiables that I heard is you like a person that was vaccinated, a
Mhm.
person, ideally a person for you that does not have kids nor
Mhm.
want kids, a man who does not want a submissive woman, a man that's willing to be a partnership. You had a couple other things. So it's like, let's say you find a guy that doesn't want kids, but he's vaccinated. Let's say
This is the thing. It's not just the non-negotiables. It's also the preferences that she said. Here's the thing. If she has a friend zone, a male friend zone, go to it. Those are the men that you want.
you find the guy who's been vaccinated, but he got kids. It's like I think your challenge is gonna be to find this one human being that literally has all your non-negotiables. I think you can find your non-negotiables, but it's gonna be finding one human being that has all of them.
And I think with that, I'm very comfortable with myself. So I'm not willing to, certain things I'm not willing to bend on. Like the vaccination thing, that is a strong preference. And again, it goes back to just whether they believe in science or not. But then there's reasons for not being vaccinated, specifically COVID vaccinated. Now, if it's the other ones, that's a deal breaker 100%. But if it's specifically COVID, then that's a conversation. But aside from that, I think it just, certain things there's some wiggle room for. And so I'm not an unreasonable person. Like there are some things that I'll bend on, and other things I'm like, absolutely not. Like the kids is an absolutely not thing for me, just because I feel it doesn't align with the life that I want for myself. And if there's somebody who I meet and that, that's what they perceive for themselves and that's really important, I love that for them and I want them to have that. They won't have it with me, but I would love them to have that with the person they can have that with respectfully. And like, there's nothing wrong with it. So I think we've not.
This is the thing, right? Perfect. What I've always said this. It is perfect. Women can have whatever standards they want, whatever preference they want, as long as they don't complain and then blame men for the life that they live. Here's the scenario, and I think we'll end it on that. women like this, I'm not saying her specifically, but women like this, fine. They want what they want. It is cool. She's 31. Eventually turns 41 and still in the dating market. And then blame men. This has happened. Blame men. Men are cheaters, liars, shitty, right? All men just want to use me for sex, right? No man want to commit to me. Well, can you be surprised? I am not a fortune teller, but I am predicting that lifestyle for her. Now, is it impossible that she finds her unicorn? No, it's not impossible. I've said this before. There will always be men out there that will want women, whether they're ugly, pretty, fat, skinny, chaotic, or peaceful. Always. There will always be men out there. Right now, there will be men that will want her. But will those be the men that you want? That's always the thing. These men, women will curb, women will ignore, women will not give the time of day. So, yeah. And that's the thing. But here's, like I was going to say, or like I'm saying, I'm not saying that women can't have whatever standards they want. They can. And they should. But what I'm saying is the problem with a lot of women is that they blame men. Like I said, they insult men. They blame their problems on men, saying that, oh, men are cheaters. No. Because in actuality, here's a woman that really only if the men that she wants, right? The men that she wants would even give her the time of day, and then they cheat on her. Well, that shows you that she only qualifies for a fun time with those men. She only qualifies for a fun time, not a long time. So this is the thing where women don't understand. You aren't really desirable besides having fun with. So if that's the life certain women live, right? Men cheated on them, men lied to them, all these things, and not commit to them, well, it's you. It is the woman. They only qualify for a fun time with the men that they want. So, and women need to learn that. So, yeah. What do you guys think? Okay, so thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for stopping by. I'm trying to, yeah, if you can see that, I mean, this thing, I'm trying to check if this is cool or not, but I don't know. It's not really as cool as I thought it would be. So, I don't know. Because I wanted to chat box it, but it's whatever. So, I mean, I don't know if you guys are sports guys. I'm not. I'm not a sports guy. The only sports I really like is MMA, and essentially I only like UFC. So I'm always willing to talk about UFC with any of you guys if you guys like that. I'm not a sports guy. Basketball, football, baseball, all these sports. I'm not a sports guy. But, right, with going along with the stream, right, the topic of our stream, the whole WNBA. I'm definitely not a WNBA guy, right? Yo, bro, Skull, you're amazing. I'm definitely not a WNBA guy. No, because I'm barely an NBA guy. I watch it, maybe highlights from time to time, but I don't watch a whole lot of it. But I don't know if you guys, or heard about, a little bit about the whole Caitlin Clark thing. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys have, right? It's sometimes on social media and shit like that. So, let's get into this. Okay. So, there was this kind of controversy, or not controversy, but talking thing of Stephen A. Smith's first live or whatever thing. Again, I'm not a sports guy, so please, yeah. I'm sorry, the WNBA thing is just a whole bunch of lesbians. It is a whole bunch of lesbians. Do I want? I mean, like, I can watch the NBA sometimes because the guys are really amazing athletics, right? Amazing athletics. So, sometimes, but it's like watching, a bunch of lesbians miss shots is really not a thriller for me. Anyway, let's get started with this. So, what I wanted to react to is that, and this gives credence to one of the thoughts I'm talking about, right? We hear this before. Women talk about inequality, which is ridiculous in today's day and age. This is no talk about 60, 70, 80 years ago. No. Today, women are just as equal, if not more, better off than men, right? And here's the talking point. The pay gap that feminists, right? Women love to spew about. The pay gap that these WNBA chicks want to talk about, how like the cap of their salary cap is about 200 grand, right? 250 grand. Well, women are the source of their own problems because the WNBA sucks. No one cares about that. And here's the thing where we'll talk about that. Well, I'll probably show the clip more and just give a little bit of thoughts. So let's check it out.
That is not Team USA's mission right now. Team USA is trying to get a gold medal. They're trying to get a gold medal. I understand what y'all are saying. And Shannon, you want to mention, I'm not going back to 1996. That is so long ago. I was 3 years old. I'm not going back to that year. That's too far away. If you go back to 2016, Brianna Stewart being a rookie on that Olympic team, the coach was Gino Auriemma. There was an anchor there for Brianna Stewart to in that situation. Like, it's a completely different scenario than 2016 with Brianna Stewart. Brianna Stewart won 4 championships. We're talking basketball. I understand the marketing aspect, but from a basketball perspective, there's no merit for having her on the team. From a basketball perspective.
Andrea, 2 points and then I'll hand it to Shannon real quick. 2 points, Shannon. Hold on a second. Number one, Andrea, your point would be more valid if you didn't have a multitude of examples that we could point to where non-basketball decisions were made about a basketball roster. We have evidence that shows that has happened in the past, number one. And number two, because I absolutely adore seeing you on television. I really, really do. So allow me to give you some words of advice. Andrea, I strongly suggest you rethink such positions, especially when it comes to you, because marketing matters. It's how you get paid. If you don't know that, you better hear me and hear me good. I am telling you right now, you are going to be underpaid for the rest of what I believe will be an illustrious career, unless you get your mind right about that marketing. It matters. It matters. Janae, you know I'm right.
I hear you.
You know I'm right.
I hear you, Stephen A., but I will not sacrifice my basketball knowledge and my integrity in terms of the game for marketing.
She might as well here's the thing, right? Stephen A. Smith said marketing matters. Essentially, making money matters. Right? However you can, make money matters. Making money matters. She just said her morality, right? Whatever she believes in is more important than making money. And yet, I don't know if you got, I've seen it. I mean, again, I don't care a whole lot about the WNBA thing, right? But what I do care about is women speaking their hypocrisy and delusions. So many WNBA players talk about how the NBA players are getting paid so much compared to them. They're barely getting paid at all. Okay. And then you spew this shit. I don't care about making money over my moralities. Okay, great. But you can't have two. You can't have them both, right? Again, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You cannot demand higher pay, but yet fit ever morality you want. And it goes back to what I constantly say about women in the dating market. And this is, you know what? Women in life in general, they want perfection. However they want it, that's what they want. It has to be perfect. So it has to be how they want it, right? In this sense, like her, whatever she thinks the game of basketball is in her view, and make money in that sense. But that's not how it works. If the people are paying for it, don't care, don't want it, then they won't pay for it. And if they don't pay for it, you ain't making money. So really, at the end of the day, you can be whatever you want to be, and yet if it doesn't produce money, it's useless. And this is the thing. And this is why I say women are killing themselves. Women are their own problems. Because how can you say that I want to get paid more, but it cannot be at the cost of my morality or at the cost of what I believe in? Then how do you want to get paid? You want to go to these people and just steal money from them? Because if you're not catering to your fan base, to the audience, right? To people that would pay for shit, there's no other way you get money. And this is the thing where, honestly, women got spoiled. I don't know a whole lot, but I know at least that the NBA is subsidizing, right? Subsidizing the WNBA. Practically, the NBA is paying the salaries of the WNBA because they barely make any money. So without men, right? Without men, they're not making any money. They're not getting paid at all. So this is the delusion of women, because this is the problem. Men contribute to women's delusions. We allow it, and then we wonder why they're so deluded. What I would do is stop talking the shit. You don't want Caitlin Clark to be in to be in the games, to be in the WNBA. Great. Let's kick her out. Let's keep it how you want it, right? How these lesbian women want it. Let's keep it like that then. You want it the way it is? Let's keep it like that. This is the problem that I'm having. And you know what? I'm holding men accountable. Or at least these men that's doing this shit. We, right, or these men are fueling these women's delusion. We should not care. This is men that are trying to support women, right? Men that are wanting the best for women, but women don't want it. And yet we cannot, we cannot wake up. We're not waking up from it. We should not help these women.
Marketing is doing just fine. And if it has to grow a little bit slower to hold on.
Team USA
That's
we've had
but the basketball perspective
in the past. Excuse me, I just
and maybe they're not trying to do it this year.
Stephen,
I understand that.
Andrea, USA has won 7 straight gold medals. How much have they grown the game? Look at what this girl has done. I asked you earlier, I want you to tell me the WNBA player that's been more popular than Caitlin Clark. Just give me one that has been able to average 17,000 even though they're on a crappy team. Give me one if you're trying to go to game.
Andrea, do me a favor. Finish that initial thought that you were saying about sacrificing your integrity, because that was an important point for me.
So, all these women are delusional. So, here's this. I don't know these women. I don't. You know, I barely know the men. So, instead of, you know what, helping to giving this woman a reality check, no. This woman steps in and like, oh, continue with your morality talk. This is the thing, right? Men don't know what they're doing by they don't know the consequences of their actions by not just letting women self-destruct themselves. Right? Just let women do it, right? The WNB thing, that's not, I mean, men don't care about it in general, but also men are trying to help it as well. Men should not care at all, right? Because it's for women, I guess.
Marketing.
It's just not something I'm willing to do, and right now, it doesn't seem like something Team USA is willing to do. It just doesn't. And whether you think that's a smart decision or whether you think that's not a smart decision, I also just want you all to think about this. Everything you all are saying is from speculation of how Caitlyn will play on the floor. If we were just speculating, and you just want her with the team, you just want her walking around with the team on the sideline.
I tell you what, I guarantee you, if I come out with a replica Olympic jersey with Caitlin Clark, she'll outsell the top 5 combined.
I hear you, and that's fine, Shannon. But my point is, what have we talked about with Caitlyn in the W so far? What's been one of the biggest topics of conversation? The physicality. If you think
the biggest topic is her bringing notoriety to the league.
the W is physical,
the growth of the game.
FIBA rules are way more physical than the W. Way more physical than the W. So you want to see Caitlyn with zero chemistry with anyone on the team, zero connection to the coach at all. You want to see her potentially get a few minutes here and there, potentially have a hard time with the physicality, and potentially not be able to connect to her teammates, not to a fault of her own, but because she simply hasn't had time with them. You would rather see that than wait 4 more years for Caitlyn to have experience, for her jersey to sell out, and for her to have an impact role on the team. You would rather want immediate
and to make
results
her
right
Olympic
now. That's really
debut
what you want.
potentially in Los Angeles. Look, as someone who has played for USA basketball and understood the nature in which these cuts are made, what Andrea is speaking to is correct. Familiarity is a big thing. My sister did not make the roster despite being MVP, I believe, in the qualifying tournament right before the Olympics happened. That's how.
Who cares on your sister? No one knew her. And that's the thing. That's the thing that these women aren't understanding. You complain about pay. You complain about pay. Plain and simple. You complain about pay. Here are men talking about, hey, here's the way to fix it. This is how you fix it. But what do they do? Oh, she's not going to be good enough. No one's talking about that. Right? No one's talking about that. No one's talking about whether she's good enough or not. People are talking about that she can lift the popularity. No one's talking about how good she is in the WNBA. No. But what they are talking about is that how she can increase the fan base of the WNBA. No one is talking about if she's the best player in the WNBA. No. What they are talking about is that, hey, be smart. She has a huge following comparative to all the other, lesbian, all the other, female players. Like, a whole lot. Well, push her to be the face of the WNBA. Plain and simple.
It's not that you're wrong. It's that we don't care. Everything y'all said does not matter for this particular instance. We don't want to hear anything about Team USA. We know they won 7 straight goals. Put Andrea and Janae up on this screen.
I didn't know that. That's the thing. This is the talk about the Olympic team, right? They should include her because it will propel the Olympic team more. But I don't know about you. I mean, although yes, the Olympics is well watched, but I don't think it's well watched like that. I think, in my opinion, ratings have been not the best, or they're decreasing or whatever. I don't even know if the Olympic team is all that watched.
I want to look at them this whole segment.
And to be honest, I didn't even know there was a female. Do you guys? I didn't know there was Olympic female basketball team.
Talking to them. You just highlighted 7 straight gold medals. Oh my God. We're really worried that they're not going to get an 8th. Oh, we really worried. I mean, we got to make sure that spots 1 through 12, every single such spot that is picked. I mean, it's got to be, because it's pivotal, Shannon. I don't know if you noticed, Shannon, it's pivotal. I mean, they won 7 straight. They might not get 8. They might not get 8. Stop it. You know good and damn well, with or without Caitlin Clark, they're going to probably win the gold again. That's not what this conversation is about. This is about what I will personally label the idiocy of Team USA women's basketball. How dare you make this decision? It's stupid. And I'm going to tell you why it's stupid. I want all the ladies on this squad to know every single one of y'all are deserving of it. Caitlin Clark does not deserve a spot ahead of any of the players on this roster, okay? If we're talking just basketball, you know we're not. You know we're not. Let's harken back to the Dream Team in 1992. Remember when Christian Laettner was on that squad? Forget the other pro play. Forget the pro players. Forget the pro players. That's a given. First time NBA players were allowed to participate. Don't put that damn screen up when I'm talking right now. I want to see Shanae and Andrea, okay? The point is this. Those rosters, right? Those players were on there. Do you know that Christian Laettner also was chosen ahead of Shaquille O'Neal and Alonzo Mourning? You know why? He was a 2-time national champion. He was a Wooden Award winner. And he was white. And he had his own cachet. He brought it to the table. He was a big-time collegiate player who was white and busting people's you-know-what. They couldn't miss. And they didn't need him. You had Jordan. You had Magic. You had everybody. And you still picked that dude. Why? It wasn't because of basketball, even though he had the basketball credentials. It was because of something else. And they didn't need the pub. But the WNBA does. You got a max salary at $250,000. You had attendance, although it was trending in the right direction, certainly wasn't where you wanted it to be. And as Shannon pointed out, just the other day, you got a team in the Indiana Fever with their struggling selves, struggling to win a damn game and be relevant. No team in the WNBA was worse other than the winless Washington Mystics, okay? And they went from 4,000 in attendance to 17,000. This girl is box office. I said a rising tide lifts all boats. What you do, especially if you're Team USA and you're trying to be globalized, it is an opportunity to globalize the WNBA brand. So people like Brittany Griner, you know, God bless her soul, and others don't have to go to Russia in the off season to play additional basketball.
Because you know, this is the thing. When men are logical and helpful, it's when women are at their worst. Because women dislike being wrong. Women dislike being wrong. Women dislike thinking that men are giving them a helping hand. Women are... I've said this before. In my opinion, women are the true definition of narcissism. Modern day women are truly egotistical. Truly. The majority of women, they are the definition of narcissism. They think that their view matters. They think that whatever they think matters. And that's the problem. Women are the true pig-headedness, right, in society. Women. Because this is the thing. Women will always fight against, if your view is even logical, but it's against her views, they will fight against it. And this is the thing. I will be laughing if the scenario where they will still complain about money and they're not making money. I will be laughing because here's the thing. It's been predicted. Shit like this, when they put down ways to make things better, and yet they can complain about it, absolutely, absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. So I think that's BS. So it's just I know it's a little bit different than what I usually do, but it's the idea, right? This is not the dating market, but it is still the mindset of women. When even if you're trying to be logical, helpful to women, they see it as a slight against them. They see it that whether you're right or wrong, they see that you are wrong. In their eyes, you are wrong because their view should be the right view. That's the insanity. That's the insanity of it. And this is what men deal with in the dating market. But women are not just as worse in the professional world. So yeah, craziness right there. Yo, Jailhouse, thank you for joining. If you guys like, check out Smash TV, cool channel. I was on one of their lives. It was a decent one, so check out Smash TV, pretty good. All right, so here's another. Let's move on to another clip. I mean, the basketball one was a little bit different than what I usually do, but essentially, the idea is what I wanted to talk about. So, but let's move on to another clip, right? All right, let's check this clip out.
You need to know that the more you get older, the more difficult it is to find somebody.
Especially for girls,
It's not supposed to be pressuring, but
Yeah.
it's supposed to be advice. I don't think anyone's really told me that.
Yeah, they
Younger.
say it in such a negative way. For example, like there's a saying in Japan that girls are Christmas cakes.
Yeah.
And after the 25th of December, they're expired.
That's so crazy.
It's bad. Like they portray it so bad that it forces women to like rebut it and be like, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's true in a sense that women loses worth or is like expired after they're 25. I don't believe that. However, what they're trying to say with that concept is that it gets harder for women to find a really good man. Yeah. That's not looking for youth. I think it gets easier for men to get married as they get older because they have more money, they're more mature, and that's what girls look for, like stability, safety.
Let's
You need to know.
This is the thing. This is the ridiculousness of it. We'll talk about the whole mindset. So, but this is the thing I like to say. I think it's ridiculous that a lot of women think that they never heard certain things before. I honestly believe women have heard they've heard it all. They've heard it all. But they ignore it. So, but let's break this shit down.
Know that the more you get older, the more difficult it is to find somebody.
Especially for girls,
It's not supposed.
Here's the thing. This is something that I'm gonna say this. We have certain, like, let's say certain men in the whole manosphere talking thing where they say that, oh, once you get older, no one wants you. That's a lie. That's a lie. I'll say this. As women get older, it does get harder. It does get harder. But essentially, it gets harder because it's on the women. It gets harder because it's on the women. I've said this before. No matter if a woman is fat or skinny, ugly or pretty, old or young, there will always be men out there that will want them. There will always be men out there that will want them. But will the woman want these men? So this is the problem. As women get older, the men that they want, well, don't really want them. And usually because the men that these women want are usually the top percent of men. men that don't have a problem getting women. That's the issue. That's the thing that women don't understand. So as you get older, the men that you want, well, they can have you, who is, let's say hypothetically 40, you're 40. Well, they can have you, but they're also popular enough, desirable enough to get a woman that's in her 30s. Sometimes to get a woman that's in her 20s. That's the thing, where as you get older, right, the ones that you want you less. And the ones that you want, well, their pools just get bigger and better, or, you know, wider as time goes on. Plain and simple.
To be pressuring, but
Yeah.
it's supposed to be advice. I don't think anyone's really told me that.
Yeah,
They
And
say
I think that's a lie. I think that's a lie, because women know that as they get older, things get harder. But what should be known gets harder because of you, not because of men. Because they, like I said, there will always be men out there that will want women, whatever they are, however stage they are. But the problem is that as you get older, the men that you want you less, and you still want those men, and that's the problem. That's the problem, because the men that you don't want, they're in abundance. Those men are there. You just don't want them. But as women get older, they age out to the men that they want.
say it in such a negative way. For example, like there's a saying in Japan that girls are Christmas cakes, and after the 25th of December, they're expired.
that's so crazy.
It's bad. Like they portray it so bad that it forces women to like rebut it and be like, no,
That's the thing, right? I mean, yes, it's not the best sounding thing, but men say that is to light a fire under women. This is the problem with women, right? And where they don't listen. Women have a more imperative time clock than men. Because one of the things men value in women, right? Beauty, youth, fertility. Well, it doesn't get better with age. Fertility for women does not get better with age. As she older, she's not more fertile, right? She's not more fertile as she get older. No, she gets less. That's the thing. And that's why it's not like, again, yeah, sometimes maybe it's to be mean, but it's not really to be mean. It's to light a fire under women where, you know what? Yes, this, that, you're 25, you know, things are, you better get hustling, but it's to understand. If you want the men that you want, get them at your prime, right? Where you have the best leverage, right? You're the most fertile, you're the most youthful, you're most likely the most pretty you ever been. In your early to mid 20s, maybe a little bit your late 20s, right? In your 20s, in your prime, get the man that you want. Plain and simple. Be serious. Get the man that you want. That's the true thing, right? Where men say all these things, right? Oh, you hit the wall, all these things. It's just to light a fire under women. It's essentially, in my opinion, it's trying to be helpful, right? Again, men trying to be helpful. Yes, it doesn't sound great in women's ears, but it's to light a fire. Like, you gotta get going. Like, you want the best man you can get? Well, your prime is the best time to get him.
it's not true.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't think it's true in a sense that women loses worth or is like expired after they're 25. I don't believe.
See, that's the thing when women don't understand. Worth. You haven't lost your human worth, but you are losing, decreasing, or whatever, your dateable worth. You ain't getting more pretty as you get older. You ain't getting more fertile as you get older. So the values that men basically see, right? The basic values, right? Your beauty, your fertility, it doesn't get better over time. So that worth is decreasing. So yes, you're losing essentially your date market worth over time.
believe that. However, what they're trying to say with that concept is that it gets harder for women to find a really good man. Yeah, you know, that's not looking for youth. I think it gets easier for men to get married as they get older because they have more money, they're more mature, and you know.
It gets see, that's the thing. Women makes it easy, like sound like it's simple. It took men time to get to become more valuable in women's eyes. So let's say finances. He ain't a six-figure man in his 20s. Like being six-figure, you gotta, you know, be in your late 30s to maybe your 40s. Yeah, that's what women find valuable, right? Those are the values women find. Men's finances. So this is the thing where women can't understand. We're different. What women value and what men value are different. Because here's the thing. What women get from men is finances. So they find that valuable. What men get from women, essentially their body, their youth, their fertility, well, that's what men value. It's what we give each other that we find the most valuable. Let's say it was flipped. Women are constantly throwing money at men, constantly paying for dates, paying for trips, paying for presents, paying for everything. Like men's bills are paid by women. I'm pretty sure men would care about that more, right? Men would, it's the thing. It's how the dating market is. What women give men the easiest is their body. Women will have a harder time paying for men for shit than they would give their body to men. So essentially, well, men value what they get, which is their which is women's bodies.
That's what girls look for, like stability, safety.
So in line with that, let's check this one out too.
You need to know that the more you get older, the more difficult it is to find somebody.
Especially for girls, you know.
It's not supposed to be pressuring, but it's supposed to be advice.
So recently I broke up with my boyfriend and I'm turning 40 in a month. I was really scared to go back to the dating app because everyone's telling me the same thing. Like, the older you get, the less choices you have. My friend was saying that after 40, you're just like, it's like off a cliff. There's literally no...
It's 40 minutes, so I'm going to stop it and break it down as it goes because it's a little bit long. But this is the thing. Choices is what you make it. So if you, let's say, if these are the same type of men that you were interested before, then most likely you'll be interested in them afterwards. This is it's kind of dependent, right? If you're different, right? If you're not interested in the top % of men, well, you will have more options as time goes on. Plain and simple.
One on dating app you can even match with. I want to make this video because I just want to say that as a 40-year-old woman recently being on dating app, I'm on Bumble, like, it's not true. I found that good or bad, like my experiences on dating app is very, very similar to my experiences on the same dating app when I was in my early 30s. Actually, the people who you match with are very similar, right? Just think about myself, like people going in and out of relationship. If you're not married, often you go back to the dating app again. And then the quality of men is actually, in one way, it's better because you get older, your finances get better,
But this is something that women have to understand. Whether you match with these men or not, that don't mean nothing. Just like if you have sex with men, it don't mean nothing. It don't. If you can keep these men, right? The accomplishment is not about having sex with these men. The accomplishment is not getting attention from these men, right? If men message you, if men have sex with you, that's not an accomplishment. It is easy. For women to get sex, it is nothing. It's so easy, it's meaningless. But for women to get a man to commit to them long term, now that is actually the accomplishment. So this woman is not really understanding it clearly. Right? Yes, let's say you may match with the same amount of men, same type of men as you did before. But can you get these same men to commit to you? That is the key, where women seem to not understand. Attention is easy for women. I've said this before. There will always be men out there that will want you. It don't matter that you're 40. It don't. It really don't. But one, are these the men that you want? Two, will you get these men to commit to you long term? Those are the accomplishments. Those are the actual things that matter. Getting men's attention is nothing for women. It is easy.
Career is better, you're more mature. And then of course you're also going to deal with the same shitty behavior, like people gonna ghost you, people gonna lie to you, and all these things. But you're older now, and then you're less willing to take up the bullshit, and you're more quicker to see through people and see through their lies because you have more experiences. And I actually matched with many people, and I went on many dates. One of them is a doctor, another person is a CEO of a company, and another person is like a hedge fund manager. They're all really good day, and they're all very nice. They all pay for the dates. I'm not here to brag or something, but I'm just making this video because
it's not worth a brag unless you got actually a relationship out of these men. It's not women. It's not a brag. It's not a brag that you get to date these men. Hell, there are women that's dating rappers, athletes, all these men that makes a lot of money. Great. But are you getting a long-term commitment from these men? So really, it's not a brag. It's a sad thing that women cannot distinguish attention from men or long-term commitment from men. If these men are paying for dates, well, who cares? Like, it's nothing to these men, right? It means nothing because they can pay for these dates. They can go out on your date with you. It don't mean that, you know what, you can get long-term commitment from these men. That's more important.
Because I hope someone said this to me 3 years ago when I was in a really bad relationship with my ex. And I'm just so scared to break up with him because I just feel like this is the best I can do. I can never find someone better because I'm getting older, right? If I'm not less scared, I would have break up with this relationship like way faster. I think society holds age against women.
This is the absolute insanity. 3 years ago, a man should tell you that, is this the man that you wanted? This is the man you chose to be in a relationship with, right? Your ex. And that's the insanity of women. So fine. It's not this is the thing where this is the advice I would. I'm not saying that it's impossible for women to get men in their later years. No. But remember, will it be the men that you want? And will the men want you for long-term commitment? Having sex with you doesn't mean that this is the man that you can get, because men will gladly accept some easy sex.
Because we are fighting a losing battle, right? You will never be as young as yourself as yesterday. So that woman will settle, and then woman will provide all these labor for the men and for the society. And I just want to say, no one has been 40 years old at 2024. No one has been 35-year-old at 2024. We are all going through these like new era and then new lifestyle together. And then we have to find out and then figure out how to be like ourselves at this age, in this new day and age, and we're all figuring this out all together. So I just want to say that don't listen to these voices, like don't even scared. And also everyone's so different. My aunt just met her boyfriend and the love of her life like 3 years ago, and then they're getting married and she's 65. So you just never know. And then but don't
This is the thing, right? Like, I've said this before. I keep on saying it. I will never tell a woman that you won't find a guy. I won't. But what I would do, right? What I would say to be realistic to a woman, like I've always said, there will always be men out there that will want you. That is not the problem. It's not a problem for you to find a man. Every woman can find a man. Every woman can. But is it the man that you want? Right? Is it the man that you want? And can you get long-term commitment from this man? Those are the two things. Plain and simple. Women think I'm different. I will be different from other men that talk. I want to say that, oh, you're too old. You won't ever get a man. You're going to die alone. All that shit. No. But you will put yourself in a corner where you could, buy a dog and die alone. Right? Because you're too hard, right? You're too rigid, right? You're too hard to be with. This is the thing. Her aunt or whatever, she said that, oh, you settled. She may have settled, right? Or she may have decreased her absurd standards. Right? That's the thing. You have to, a lot of these women will have to choose. Is this the man you want? Because you will find men easy. But will these men be what you want? And if they're not, maybe you will have to change what you wanted.
Don't let these boys try to scare you. When she say, I'm not trying to scare you, this is just advice. That's such a bullshit. You're trying to scare a woman into making choices knowing that they will not be as valuable as what they are before. So I don't know who.
This is the thing. You aren't. And like I said, at your prime is the best time to find the best man you can. It does not mean to find a man. No. It is mean to find the best man that you can. Best man that you can. So really, let's say this, right? An auntie that's 65, marrying a man that's let's say 60, 65, 70. Okay, a man is that the best man she could have found? Well, probably the best man she could have found now. Or best man that she qualifies for. But is it the best man? Right? Is it the highest quality of man you could have gotten if you were 25? That's the thing. No, I do not subscribe to saying that women, you cannot find a man. No, you can't. Again, is it the man that you want? Is it the best man? And these women are absolutely delusional because they want the best type of man, even in their 40s. Here's a woman that's in her 40s. She's still in the dating market. So really, she dated these CEOs, doctors, all these things, but she hasn't gotten a relationship out of it. So really, maybe if she was in 25, she probably could have gotten a relationship out of these men. So that's the thing that women don't understand. Getting a date from a man, getting sex from a man is meaningless. It's not an achievement. It is the lowest bar that women can get, right? It is very easy for women to get sex from men. But are you getting relationships out of these CEOs, these doctors? That's the thing.
Who can see this, but it's not as bad. When you get older, you actually feel better. I start to care less about what people think about me. I start to be more aware of what I need in a relationship. So I feel like when I try to date men and select men, I'm able to filter out all these men who are not good for me faster. So anyway, that's all I want to say.
You need to know.
This is a thing where I'm glad I react to Kendra G videos. Because it gives me a perspective, right? Because on these Kendra G videos, I have reacted to women in their early 20s, to their late 60s or whatever, right? Women young to old. And I can see how these women's future can or most likely end up in. Here's a woman that will most likely higher percentage end up in still in the dating market within her 50s because she doesn't understand the concept of what I'm talking about. Because women's standards only get worse, only get higher a lot of times as they age. But their value, their dating market value does not go along with that higher standards over time. It gets lower. Doesn't mean that their value is zero. I've never said that of any woman having a zero value, but it doesn't get higher over time. But their standards and preferences get higher. Their viewpoints of themselves get higher. They get more egotistical, right? A higher ego doesn't mean their value goes along with it. So again, dating these men, getting sex from these men is not an accomplishment. All right, guys. Good. I think it was good live. Right. Interesting. A little bit different. I think it was fun. I hope you guys liked it. Right. Thank you for like Smash TV for coming by. You know. Jailhouse. He was someone from Smash TV as well. Carney, Skull, Albie was here. Mystic was here. Yo, RPM. Anyone else, you guys are amazing. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the watch. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching my videos, liking it, subscribing, commenting. Thank you for all the support. You guys are amazing. Skull, you are amazing, right? Please check out my Saturday live. I'm trying to make it more of a schedule, right? Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. So please check them out. Around 9, right? I mean, again, I'm trying to make these a thing. So, Mystic, you're amazing. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Yeah, you guys are amazing. And you know what? I would always love you guys' inputs. Anything that will help the channel, right? Will help, make it better, make it more interesting, more entertaining. If you guys see a video you want me to react to, I'm always down for that as well. But besides that, yeah, I think it was a good live. I hope you guys have fun. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed and hope you guys have the rest of a good rest of the night. So later, guys.